Hello, this is my introduction video for the Spark Page application on your iPad. So this is through self-service. It's a application put together by the folks at Adobe. So it's a wonderful piece of software that we get to use. Specifically, it's used to create web pages. And at the end of this project, you will have a very professional looking website that will be live on the web that you could have anyone come to visit. Your goal is to create something that has a message and something that you're passionate about and something you can hopefully share as a resource to people that are struggling with the topic that you selected. So you can see I went to my project space here, and I've got a few just kind of throwaway projects that I've made as examples through the years. But first I would maybe start you by looking at this inspiration tab at the bottom here. So that's kind of right down here. And these are pre-made projects that come with the app essentially, or that other people have made, I believe. So you can click into some of these previews and get, first of all, kind of an idea of what this application does and what your final product could look like if you give it enough time and effort. So this particular website is about, I don't know, a specific place in, I don't know, Peru or something. I wonder where we are, but it looks like someone documenting a vacation possibly in all their photography. But these web pages are beautifully displayed on our iPad screen here. It's all just kind of touch interactivity, and we'll go through the different kind of features that it has, and I really like the visual look of it. And it's a great way to display information, photos, any other kind of information that you need, and we can make ourselves a nice project using this application here. So I'm just kind of scrolling at random through an example here. Next, I'll go ahead and click the blue plus sign down at the bottom here. And this opens up just a brand new project for me. It's been a while, so let's explore the toolbar up top here. So right here, I would have, back to my projects. Over here, this little magic wand is your themes. So what this selects is essentially your default background and font. So you can experiment with a couple of those, and that can be further tweaked later on. But maybe I'm going to start with this nice vintage style. Next, let's look at this gear menu here. So all we have right now for our project settings is toggling on and on a header and footer, and I don't think that makes much of a difference for us. The next button over is, I'm going to cancel that, is the preview, so the little play button. Obviously, I have nothing to preview, so that will come in handy when I actually have something to look at. And then, of course, the share button. This, like I said, will be a live website. It's not just a presentation on your iPad. This is something that will get hosted on the internet, and your final project will just be a web address, basically, and I'll go through your website and see all the things I need to see. Anyways, one of the first things you encounter, of course, is the title itself, and you can name it whatever you wish, and maybe a subtitle of more information about your project, or whatever. And then you would want to select a background photo. One of my favorite aspects of this application is the ability to search for free photos right here in the app, which I think is fantastic. Of course, you can always go to Google, download things, and grab them off your iPad, and that works great as well. You could take a live picture and use it. Other options you might use, maybe you have some stuff stored on your drive, and that's handy to have linked here. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to the find free images just to find my visuals for my page. So let's say I'm making a project about corn, and I want to have everything. Image search here, and I'll get myself a nice little image of cornfield. Okay, so it says scroll to start writing your story. So here's where we're getting to the real meat of things. So far I have my title, subtitle, and a background image. Now from here, the possibilities kind of open up about how you want to communicate and display that information. So we'll talk more about that specifically in another video, but let's just look at some of the options that we do have. I'll just kind of go through each one and you can experiment with these in your own time. So of course we can just add a simple photo. I'm still in that image find here. So maybe I want to show another image of corn. So then some options are, do I want it to fill the entire screen? Do I want it to be in a smaller window? Which I think is kind of, I like the window feature where it kind of scrolls through. That's really neat, I think. Full width looks like this, and then of course you can replace or delete. But let's say I'll just keep this as an inline image. Or actually, I do like that window effect. I'm going to keep that on there. And then maybe a little caption here, so you can see I have the ability to write whatever I want. Corn. And that displays there, and I believe I can move this around, this caption. Oh boy, I don't remember how that works, but I believe you can move the caption with some fiddling. Anyways, let's look at what else we can add here. So kind of like your tutorial timeline, you hit the plus sign and move along down. Maybe we'll add a little text next, so maybe this is where I start writing all about corn and where it came from and whatever. So simple text options there. Once I'm in my text here, let's get it all selected quick. I can change some easy things. I could make it into a heading by clicking H1 up here, and that changes the format of things. H2 is a smaller headline. The quotation here, you're essentially just picking font categories when you scroll through these. So maybe you want it to be big, medium, or small, essentially is how you should think of that. And then bullet points if you wish. Numbered list if you wish, which is handy for your facts, by the way. Bold, italic, you could turn it into a web link to go somewhere else. So maybe this takes me to a different website. So now it's a live web link so that my user could click on there and it would take them to google.com. And you have your standard alignment options up there as well. So text, hooray. Buttons are really handy. You're going to be required to add one of these. And a button is basically a link to somewhere else. So again, let's say maybe this takes me to corn.com. Who knows where that takes me. And then these buttons here show the alignment of the button. Right now it'll be justified to the left, which means my button will be over here. This would be justified center. This would be justified to the right. Say I want it centered. So I've created this link here that would take me to corn.com. You'll be inserting a video. So you'll be using a YouTube link. I don't have one available at the moment, but you would have youtube.com/watch whatever your video is, and you'd have the web address of your video that will get in there. That's not liking me not having a full link, but that's where you would drop your YouTube link, and it would take you to, or it would embed that video inside. You know what, I can grab a quick video link here quick and we'll just make it official. So I got the YouTube app up. I'm gonna search for corn. Oh, that's a lovely one. So I can click these buttons to the side. I just need the web link, so I'm gonna click share there and copy link. So now let's see if the application likes that link a little bit better. Aha. So now my video is embedded inside of my website. Photo grids are a nice way to display a few things. So I'm just going to select a bunch of corn pictures here, tapping at random, and it kind of creates a grid for me automatically, which is nice. And on each of these images, you can move things around. You can change how big they are, change the order, delete them entirely, whatever it is that you need to do. And then you got a nice way to display some images that way. And a little caption at the bottom. That was photo grid. Let's look at glide show. Yeah, I'm getting a little preview here. So it's a nice way to create photos, text, block quotes, images, and more. I think it's making me suffer through this whole little preview here. Okay, add a few background photos to your glide show. Okay, got that. Okay, and then we can add little captions inside here, or we could put a little video inside there. You know, let's try that again. Let's see what happens if I paste that video inside of this glide show again. Maybe a little text, video. So I'm gliding through these photos, and I can add these captions as I go if I wish. Caption, and I believe I can move this whole box somehow. Let's put another photo inside the photo. Corn and corn. Okay, so that's my glide show. It you can kind of see the effect that creates and some possibility that opens up. And split layout. Let's just add some more stuff here. Word and text. So maybe I form a bullet list over here of some text. Let's put some junk filler text in here. Just so you can kind of see how that works. Let's make it a little bigger. Oops, select all is what I wanted to do. Select all. Looks like each bullet I need to change. So I got a header, some body text, caption there. So those are the main tools you have available in that order. Now let's go back up to this preview button and see how I did. So here's my title, subtitle. That was that window image with a caption there. Let's test out this link here I created. So that takes me to Google. Very nice. This link here, I think, took me to corn.com. Lord knows what that is. Okay, it's kind of nothing, I guess, but it works. I've got this embedded video here of...
From the earth I rise, and to the earth I one day will return. What?
Okay, so that's that video. Let me skip down on me here. Let me go back into preview. So that was that video. This was the little gallery, I believe it was, of images. And I've got my caption down there. Really love this glide show setup. So you can have nice visuals in the back and any content you want in this caption box here. Picture in picture. And then we ended it with split screen, I believe this was called. And that's where we reached the end of our site. So that's how the app works. You should mess around with it a bit to get your bearings. But I'll explain in another daily video how exactly we'll be using this to wrap your information into.